The Magic Podcast. Hosted by Lloyd Barnes and Craig Petty. Your all-access, behind-the-scenes insight into the current happenings of the magic industry. Where Craig and Lloyd will thrust themselves deep inside your ears every Wednesday to rant, dissect, and give you their raw and unfiltered views on the art of magic. So, lock your door, take out your deck, and brace yourself for the Magic Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Magic Podcast. We weren't here for a week, but it doesn't mean we've gone away. We are back, bigger and better than ever before. I'm Craig Petty, and I'm joined by the Welsh Wonder Wizard himself, Mr. Lloyd Barnes. Hey Lloyd, how's it going, brother?
Wakey, wakey, motherfuckers.
I know.
Audit.
The rumors of our death have been exaggerated. The problem is, if we miss a week...
I'm masturbated too. So, you know.
In all fairness, this one's on me, not on you. I have had the most ridiculously busy month. I was in California for the best part of 2 weeks, and I worked my fucking tits off there. I have never worked so hard in my life. Then I came back. I had a day in the office, and then I've been up at Blackpool since, which is where I am now. Ryland and Thea have been working with Mark Waddington up at the House of Secrets, so every single night I'm there. And that's where I'm at right now. So it's been really busy. Sorry we missed a week. It's just we couldn't make it work. We couldn't make it gel. But we're back.
I'm not sorry. It was a week of respite without having to do a 5-hour podcast on a Wednesday morning.
Here's the thing, dude. If you haven't got me around, you just go fuck off and cuddle up to Fred. Like I've been
Fred's
watching
my spirit animal.
I was about to say, I watched his latest video where he was like, I'm taking a bit of a break. And he's like, I had a 5-hour jam with Lloyd Barnes. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I had a 5-hour jam with that motherfucker. It's normally like an hour.
Do you know, the last time we had a proper jam, we created Fuel. And then that's gone off to be I think, from the footage, which I've been sneaky enough to watch, I think it's on for Trick of the Year.
I think it'll be Trick of the Year.
Not saying that it's all right. It's egotistical for me to say that because I know I created that. Me and you created that together, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying it from the point of the reactions in the footage because I've never seen you get. I've done so much filming with you, and I've watched so much content of you performing, and I think it's fair to say that there could be an element of it that it was the fact that you were in America and they tend to go a bit crazier in general. They're not as conserved. But even still, I've seen you perform in America fucking tons.
Yeah.
I've never seen shit like this before. So I think...
and you know what was funny? George was there filming with me, and he just couldn't believe it. He was holding the camera, but he could not fucking believe it. Because when I told him how the trick worked, he went, really? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He's like, and that's going to work? I'm like, yes, George, it's going to work.
Do you know what happened was I said, how did the filming go? Because you had so much to film from SP to our gaff deck, which is finally coming out, to Fuel. And have you told people the CC one?
Oh, yeah, I've mentioned
Credit Crunch. They can know the name, right? It's not going to give the trick away. And Credit Crunch. And you said to me, I said, how was it? And you said, it was incredible. Some of the best reactions I've ever gotten, ever. People screaming to almost every trick. And there's 2 hours of edited together live performances. That's not a 2-hour performance. That's 2 hours worth of a full 2-hour video of performances. So I messaged George after, and I was like, Craig tells me this is the best footage ever. However, when we did the second podcast live, which was a car crash, and Kaylee told me I never want you to do that again because you've humiliated yourself. Craig also told me that was the best live event we'd ever done together. But in fairness, you were pissed. Remember going, it was the best thing and then you fell over into your Airbnb with your trousers on. Yeah.
Yes,
so I was like, Craig also said our podcast live, which was the worst thing we've ever done. He also said that was the best thing we've ever done. So I said, level with me. How was the footage? So he was like, bro. And George is the king of
negativity.
Negative. No, yeah. King of
worry.
King of worrying. Yeah, he is. If you are the warrior of magic, he is the worrier of magic.
Mm-hmm.
To the extreme. He came back and he was like, "Bro, it's the best footage I've ever seen." And I was like, "What the fuck?" So he sent it to me, and then I seen Fuel, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And so I think the word is sleeper hit that they're using.
Oh, we've not really talked about this much, but it's going to blow people away. Like I was doing it like the traditional handling, and then I said to George, "Okay, the next few I'm going to put it in their hand," and he's like, "You can do what?
Yeah,
Get them to hold on to it?" He's like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Watch me, mate."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't even do it the way that I do it, which is going to be out in the open a lot more.
Mm.
Even like the way that I do it is there's two versions. You do it one in your hands, and you do it the second version. You do it in their hands, and the way that I do it is I just don't do it in anyone's hands, but it's in full view.
Yeah.
And then they get to sort of dawn in on it. So yeah, there'll be a bunch of different handlings. But man, fair play, bravo! Gotta say, when people get to see this footage, they are gonna lose their shit. So that's where you've been. You were in America. You had 4 projects. For reference, and this is what I was saying to you when you were like phoning me up, being like, "I'm absolutely fucking dying." The size of one of the projects, which is SP, which I'm that if we were filming that, I would have blocked off 1 week of filming because it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
1 week for that project alone. They had you with jet lag do all of that. Was it 6 days plus
Every project? Yeah.
plus 3 more projects?
Yeah.
And the gaff deck alone is at least 10 days of filming.
The gaff deck is the longest tutorial I've ever done.
Yeah.
Ever. Like it
took me a week to do the gaff deck of my own. And that was without live performances.
It was mad. It was mad doing the gaff deck. I turn up to shoots and I've got like handwritten notes.
Yeah.
I had so many notes, and when I turned up to Sacramento, I was so tired. I hadn't slept in like 36 hours or something. I got into the airport and I was so tired. I rang George. I was like, "Are you here?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes." So I just sat down on the chairs by the thing, and I left when he came. And then he took me for food because I hadn't eaten, and then he took me to the hotel room. And as I was getting out for the hotel, I had my suitcase, but I didn't have my backpack with my laptop and all of the notes on the filming and everything. I just didn't have it. I'm like, "George, I've left it somewhere." He's like, "Where?" I don't fucking know. I'm like, I'm so tired. I must have left it somewhere. And we drove back to the airport, and I just left it sitting where I was. And luckily, they had it in. Somebody had handed it in, and they had it in. Like lost and found. But that's how tired I was getting into there at the beginning of the week. I was just like, and then I lost my passport. Coming before I got to the hotel, like I found it again. But yeah, I was really tired. I just spent the entire week in Sacramento, fucking knackered.
Jesus Christ, mate. Yeah, fair fucking play to you, man. And you crushed it, so well worth it. I
know what?
I'd have been able to do that.
People aren't going to have to wait that long for these projects.
No, I think the first one, SP, is the code name for the minute, which people can guess. Feel free to take a guess because it's SP2. Is that's sat at the warehouse, and it has been.
When I was there and George took me to the warehouse, there were hundreds of these getting shrink wrapped. Like they've got them.
Yeah. So
and you did a great job on that, I have to say. The design of those, I said to George, because once again, worry George the worrier. He was like, "Is it as good as the first version?" I'm like, "No, George, it's better." He's like, "It's what?" I said, "It's better. It's better gimmicks. It's better made because of the gimmicks that are included. You've got more options. It's better." And he said to me, "So we could do everything with this that the first one does." I'm like, "Everything and then some." Like the stuff that you can do with this that you couldn't do with the first one. Loads of stuff you can do with it. And he set me a challenge. There was a particular type of trick with the first one. He's like, "Could you do that with the second one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can give you like 5 different ways of doing it right now." Like, you know, it was you hit it out of the park with that, Lloyd. You really did. It's fucking brilliant.
To be honest with you, I can't take too much credit with it because a lot of it is just looking at what I would have wanted. Because I didn't, apart from the floating one, and really the floating one was really the only brand new unique thing, and kind of the exploding ones.
The exploding one was as well, yeah.
That one got the best reaction, I think, at the performances from what I saw. I didn't watch the full 2 hours performances because I only got it the other day. I got it late on Friday night, so George gave me the timestamps to certain things. But I can't take too much credit for the creation of what they are, because a lot of them are, there's a lot more of them, a lot more variation of them, but they're fairly they're things that already exist. The more interesting work, and we'll have to talk about this in a separate video at another time. But I think what I'm sort of more proud of, or what the work went into, was the camouflaging of the stuff. So there's some unique things that make them look a lot more innocent in the design. That a lot of work went into. Anyway, we can't. If being cryptic is boring, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's today's episode about?
Well, actually, before we talk about what the fuck today's episode's about, have you fucking seen? Let's not be completely nice about Murphys. Have you seen the fucking chick thing that they've brought out?
No.
This came out the day before the 1st of April, and every motherfucker on the planet was convinced that it was some sort of April Fool's joke. Right. If you've not seen this, I'm going to play you and everyone else a trailer. I just want your actual thoughts on camera, because I'm pretty sure they've lost their mind. And Javier, I can't believe he takes this trailer so seriously. You've genuinely not seen this. Dude, this is fucking hilarious. No. Just watch this.
What did you say it was called?
Hang on, I'm going to... shit, hang on. Let me... I want to share this with you.
Get rid of all the absolute filth that you're watching on screen.
You know me. Boom. That's that one. Okay. Hang on.
Loads of dogs' cocks.
There we go. Can you see that? Like a...
I can. Should I put my headphones in, or...
It's only a 1-minute trailer, so do whatever you want to do, but you need to watch this trailer.
For centuries, magicians have used live baby chicks as the ultimate cups and balls finale, because nothing feels more alive.
Hey.
Final Load Baby Chicks brings that legendary ending into the modern age with lifelike replicas that look, sound, and sit perfectly every time. This hits on a level no SpongeBall or Fruit ever could. This finale is one they will talk about long after the show is over. With a weighted design,
no live animal.
The chicks sit upright and facing forward every time. Delayed chirping sound triggers at the perfect moment for maximum impact. This finale instantly elevates your cups and balls routine from a trick into an unforgettable moment. The power of centuries-old ending with modern reliability and zero hassle. This is Final Load Baby Chicks.
So this is an April Fool's prank, you say?
No, it's not. It's an actual product that you can buy. It is not an April Fool's.
No, it's not.
Huh?
No, it's not.
Yes, it fucking is. Go look at any magic shop anywhere. It is an actual fucking product. It is not an April Fool.
Fuck this. What?
You can go and buy it anywhere. It's not an April Fool's joke. It is a real thing that they have brought out. And have no amount of cool fucking smoke around the white box can make this look good. Like I could tell that Javier was dying inside making that. And also, I've done enough trailers to know exactly why there's no live performance footage of this shit, and it's just B-roll in the studio.
It actually is a real product.
Yes, it is a real product, Lloyd.
I mean, if you look at the photo, they kind of look. Oh, see, right. My issue is I went to the Magic Castle and saw Johnny Ace Palmer live, and it was, as magicians, we know most magicians, in some capacity. I did not. I'd heard of his name, but I didn't see his work before. He ends his cups and balls with real live baby chicks, real ones, and it was the most. You cannot explain what it does to a room when real live baby chicks just start fucking come out. It was the most astonishing. Honestly, it set off like it felt like everyone had fireworks going off inside their heads. It was like seeing the biggest rock concert. I can't explain how incredible it was. Everyone was like, "Fuck! What the fuck?" Everybody was. And in comparison, if somebody pulled out like a half dead looking zombie slapstick baby chick, it would be like, what is that abomination? I think actually it's a step backwards from doing like an orange or a lemon, because
Yeah, I agree.
you have to stop and go, wait a minute, what? Because unless you're a magician, you don't get the reference.
No, you don't. Unless you built that whole thing into the presentation of the cups and balls. But even then, why would that? They're obviously not real.
Yeah, you'd have to say, oh, magicians as far back, what is it, Gali, whatever you used to say, and they used to make them appear, would make live baby chicks appear. That's why I've got bum puppets. I don't know. I think if that was a comedy trailer, that would work.
It's not though. It's a real
No,
product.
it's got like epic trailer music. If it was slapstick and you could fucking joke with it and slap them and stuff, then they'd get away with that. But that is no bueno.
Who the fuck greenlit that? I mean, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, man. But I'm sure there's a market for it. But there's just maybe it just struck the wrong tone. What are magicians saying about it, man? Let me go on some magic forums.
The ones that I've read, people are like, "This has got to be a joke. This can't be real. This has to be a joke. This is an April Fool's, right? Early. This is an early April
final load.
Final load, baby chicks."
Oh my good God! Let me see.
I wonder if Javier's just like, right, this is the moment I've jumped the shark. That's it. I'm doing trailers about baby chicks. I'm standing here doing the cups and balls and making baby chicks appear. This is it. This is the end of my career.
Where are people talking about this?
Well, I mean, it's not creating much of a buzz, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah.
It's not like the world is blowing up because every single person in the world wants to do baby chick loads, but
you know what? Do you know what though? I will say this: no matter, it'll either die on its ass, right? Because people like us are just gonna laugh at it, or it'll be one of those things which, like, you look at the sales figures on the back end and it's gone through like 30,000 units. And you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? How did that happen?
yeah,
but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a sleeper hit, just for the irony of it all. But if you break it down, unless you're a magician, you don't get the reference. But if you build up the reference as like, oh, magicians back years ago would reveal live baby chicks, then you're under delivering. So I'm sure somebody can make it work. There's some magicians that can make anything work. But I think for me, the only logical sense for it is in a comedy act.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to me years ago. Me and Dave Penn on the Wizard Potter Review reviewed this animatronic bird. It was this dove with fake wings, and
I remember you saying.
Yeah, and then like we ripped the piss out of it and said it was the worst thing in the world. And then 2 years later, somebody went through to the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent doing that trick.
Yes, but didn't they do it in a comedy act?
They did it in a comedy way, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like Matt King's hamster or the Rocky Raccoon. I think the moment you have fake animals that look close to real, but they're not, you gotta start punching it in the head, like
Yep.
literally. It's a fucking puppet, you can't. Yeah, there's got to be a market for it. I mean, I'm laughing, but yeah, my inherent problem is that like, and I'm spoiled by seeing I think Johnny Ace Palmer as well won the Magic Castle Magician of the Year like 11 times or something fucking ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but
Yeah. It's really...
you very quickly realize that like, compared to someone like him, we're not really magicians. Like, you watch his Magic Castle act and you go, that's different gravy, you know?
Yeah.
And then seeing that, and then if somebody was to produce those fucking dead, lifeless little baby, they're basically the pom-poms off the end of your grandmother's slippers.
Yeah.
If somebody was to produce them, I'd go, fuck off.
You know, on a shoot, I'll do anything for anybody. You tell me to do it, I'll do it. I'll roll my sleeves up and I'll give it a go. I even perform fucking pro caps. But I'll tell you something. You give me some baby chicks and you tell me to go and do a live performance, I'll be like, all right, that is where the line is getting drawn. You can fuck right off. I am not making any baby chicks appear anywhere at a gig. No, it's not happening.
I think the only way you could do it is to force them to think of toy baby chicks. Oh, like, you know, like my kid wants me to do magic, but he always reacts better when I use his toys. Here's a picture of all his toys. Think of one of his toys. Oh, stuffed baby chicks. Oh, actually, you know what? He lost those, right? And then I don't know, some bullshit like that. But like, I think heavily implying don't expect these motherfuckers to be real is such a. And that's the thing, because you'd have to. I think, unless it's going to be full blown comedy, you'd have to really strongly imply like don't expect these to be real, and because of that, don't make them look real.
Yeah.
But again, I could be wrong. They could sell thousands.
You know what? Murphys are smart. If there's one thing I've learned about the guys at Murphys, they're really smart. They won't have just released this for shits and giggles. They would have actually looked at it and kind of figured out there's a market there. So they're smarter than me. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. It'd be interesting to say. I want to ring up Kathy and say, Kathy, if this is a product that was brought to you to purchase from somebody, how many of those would you buy? Because I don't think it'd be a very high purchase order. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, we'll have 10 of those shit. You know what I mean? I just can't see it being. It's not the next biggest thing, is it? Let's be honest.
Well, it's on Vanishing Ink, so I'm pretty sure they don't just upload everything from Murphy's onto their site. So, hey, look at these. They've clearly seen it and gone, there's a market for this too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off camera as I sneeze my life off.
Okay, so Lloyd is going off to sneeze his ass off. But yeah, well, look, if you guys have ever had a burning desire to produce baby chicks at the end of your Cups and Balls routine, go right ahead. I think it's very telling that Javier, who's one of the best pitch men in the industry, didn't.
I will say
live performances.
Before I start sneezing again, I will say I'm gone.
It's okay, he's off again. There we go. Don't worry about it, dude. You just go and sneeze. This is the problem with living in Wales. This is why anybody watching this,
it feels like I'm turning into a werewolf.
Like Wales, don't fucking do it. It's full of sick people with allergies. Go on.
Oh my God, please don't sneeze again. I'm going to sneeze again. I'll be back in a minute, bro.
Hope you fuck off. Right, yeah. So I think it's very telling that Javier.
And I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, God. So I'm just actually secretly just coming everywhere. No, I will say that I think
the baby chicks.
I think. Oh God, why am I sneezing today? I don't even have a cold. I think it was Firefly. Oh, for fuck's sake! I think that was born from. I want to say no, I won't say names, but I think one of the higher ups at Murphy's looked at what sold really well in the past and said, "Oh, there's a market for this. People really want something." And I think they looked at like some in the hand light up effect, and then they got. I think it was Titanus to create that. Then I think they said, "Oh, look, we're looking for like a light that appears in the hands. That's not a thumb tip." And create it, and then that went
really well. That sold really well. It's constantly.
Yeah, it's done really, really, really well. Like a sleeper hit. So if they took the same approach with baby chicks, we could all be sat here laughing. And that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if it secretly sold thousands of units, because when like for Firefly, for example, it's not my kind of thing at all. And when I saw it, especially because I like visual, like coins in bottles or card through window type magic, that's more my style, like stuff like that. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't know if I'd ever do it. And then I got to play with it, actually see it, and then watch it like come to life through a trailer, and that's when I realized how good it was, and it did amazing. So yeah, if I was saying, it might be a fucking I can't see it selling thousands, I'll be honest with you. But who are we to judge? When you laughed at that dying pigeon, and was it Kevin Parker's Passing Through that you hated as well?
Anything by Kevin Parker.
One of the best coins in bottles of all time is Passing Through by Kevin Parker, and you trashed it, and
I did.
It's incredible.
Deservedly so. But having said that, it was 1,000 times better than Cans, where he has to wear a flasher Mac in order to perform, or Free Fruit, when he walks around like a homeless person with a carrier bag, and his hook line is, "You want to see some free fruit?" Yeah, sorry.
That trick is called From Nothing, I think. It was just really badly presented. It was really, really badly presented, because do you know what the method is?
Yeah,
it's a fully workable method.
It is a workable method. Yeah, it is a workable method.
For anyone that's watching, right, you can take like a really small carrier bag, like a plastic carrier bag we have in the UK, or any sort of like, you can't really do it with American paper bags, but you could do any sort, like basically they're like semi-transparent bags, and they're made of really flimsy plastic. So essentially, you could put your hand in it, you could pull it tight across your hand, and you wouldn't be able to see the intricate details of your skin or anything, but you could make out that it's just your hand in this bag, right? Imagine like putting your hand underneath a t-shirt like this, or a white, right? And then they see an apple grow underneath it, and then you pull the bag away, and there's literally an apple in your hand, and it looks as clean as that, and it's really, really practical, really practical. But his presentation is, well, you want some fruit? Realistically, you need a psychologically force apple, and there's a load of ways to cycle. Even like I think is there a bunch in Banachek's books that talk about an apple, or just use any other force method, right? Picture a piece of fruit, imagine holding it, imagine the color of it, blah blah blah, or physically force it, and then say, "Watch, I'm going to make it appear." Yeah. I don't know why I don't know why you ever slated it.
I don't know. Me and Dave Penn used to. We slated an awful lot over the years. Going back in time, I'd probably re-look at some stuff maybe in a different way. I don't know, but Kevin Parker probably not. I really hated his stuff. I remember really, really fucking hating Kevin Parker's material.
God, I back then he turned into the only interaction I ever had with him was fucking bonkers. But I was a super fan of his work, and they were the first downloads I think I paid for. And I remember me and my friend Owen using his grandma's credit card and going halves with each other, because we did that. We were so young. We were like fucking 14, 13. So she let us use her card to buy these downloads, and then I performed it all. I didn't perform Cans, but I performed the rest of it.
Oh yeah, come on! You can't even defend Cans.
Yeah, it looked amazing from one angle, but actually, it wasn't that bad. I think you're thinking that's worse than what it was. All right. I mean, can we talk about the method here? No one's reading.
I think we can. It's like 20-odd years old.
20 years old, and I think he's busy having foursomes. Is the last thing you upset to?
I did hear that's kind of his big thing now.
The method was, well, first of all, you hold a Coke can, like at this angle, right? So if I've got a bottle in my hand, for those of you listening on Spotify, I've got a bottle in my hand. You hold the Coke can with the mouth of the can facing the audience, right? So it's laying down on its back, but facing forwards, so they can see the ring pull. And then it's like magically you split it in two, and now you have two Coke cans. And then you give one away, and then you pass it to this hand, the singular can, and you remove it back. And the method is essentially the multiplying balls. But what he's done is, and this is probably the worst part, is he loads two Coke cans up his big coat sleeves.
Yeah, like he's got to wear a flasher back.
Like you got to wear but that wouldn't be out of place at all on stage.
Yes, it would.
Dude, I see people wearing like scientists' macks, the scientist white coats and stuff.
True.
The
Yeah.
scientists like, oh, you've seen, you've seen there's probably more than me of these competition acts, or a lot of these acts. They all come out with a different character style. Some people do pajama themes. I've seen one that has about nightmares, time travelers, loads of scientist magicians, loads and loads of scientist magicians. If somebody was like, oh yeah, I wanted to work about I've been working my magic on about multiplying objects, and they come out and the whole thing is like they start at their desk and there's a whole like healed and themed effect and coining can and then multiplying cans, it wouldn't be out of place whatsoever in an act on stage. Trying to sell it walk around is the laughable problem, like because he does it as a street performance. But you have a shell of the top third of a Coke can.
Yep.
And then 2 Coke cans up your sleeve. So the first one, you start with one loaded in. So you tilt the can down facing the audience, and then you slide it forward and split it and hand one out. As you hand one out, you load the second can in, and then you do that and you split it. As you hand that one out, you drop and switch hands, you load that in and split it. But it's super, 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 super visual. And on stage, easily doable. And I think if you updated the method so that if the top can shell was slightly bigger, and like each can that was loaded in from the sleeves had a black shell over it, right, like a black art velvet shell, crushed black velvet, then they could look down his sleeves and not see anything, and then it drops in. That could then load and stay. The black art shell could stay in the can shell. So then, basically, on stage as well, you would look a lot more open, and it does look visually stunning. You can't deny the visual on it.
Well, that's right. The thing with him, he was very, very popular. A lot of people bought his stuff because his most important thing was the visual. It wasn't about practicality. It wasn't about whether it was practical or not. It wasn't about if you could actually do it. His big thing was this needs to be visual as fuck.
Yeah. And it was. And he found ways to make most of them doable. I'd love you to go back and perform each one of those tricks.
Dear Lord, dear Lord. Dear Lord. Maybe he needs a comeback. Maybe he needs a contract with Murphy's.
Dude, the last time I spoke to him, I can't remember what it was about, but I mean the only time. And he just goes off on this fucking rant like, yeah, well you because I was like, I'm a huge fan of your work, blah blah blah. And then he starts going like, yeah, well, you just starts like shouting at me like I'm busy out here having foursomes. I'm having foursomes every day, and I've managed to find a way. And he was literally just like going off at me about how he's having foursomes, and it was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Honestly, it was like he was in some sort of psychosis. Probably was. So maybe shouldn't have a go at him too much, but it was fucking wild.
It's crazy, isn't it, that these big names through every generation just disappear. Like he was one of the biggest things in Magic at a point. Like everybody would be waiting for the next Kevin Parker.
I wonder where he is now. I'm going to see if I can find him on Facebook. He was the guy who created Revolution, which was Illusionist, one of the biggest ever selling downloads, and one of the things that really like launched their company.
I can't remember Revolution. What was that one?
You put a coin on the back of your hand, and then you pick it up, and it vanishes, or you turn it into dice and other objects. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And if you're into the UFC at all, then gang shit only, Tony Ferguson, champ shit only, sorry, Tony Ferguson, he performs it. This video's been performing it in like the UFC vlog videos.
Oh,
He's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I can see him here, Kevin Parker. There's a photo of him on his Facebook, uploaded it about a year ago, and a girl called Tiani says, call me. Maybe she's having a foursome with him.
Well, it could be one of his foursomes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so oh god, this is the I can see the I can see the old message thread here.
Which message thread? Oh, between you and him.
He said he was talking about something to do with the method, blah 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 blah, and he's like kicking off. He's kicking off about Mark Calabrese.
I don't know how anybody can say anything negative about
Like, yo, I have no idea what this message is about, to be honest. Did you and Calabrese have beef or something?
it.
And then they were find stew in your face and remind me of the drama. I thought clarify things. Oh yeah, I don't know. But also he doesn't talk about foursomes in this message. It must have been before that even. But I remember, yeah, just crazy guy.
Well, if anybody out there knows what happened to Kevin Parker, let us know. We're interested. We'd like to know. We would like to know.
I feel like I've been too harsh on the foursome thing now. But I definitely remember him going crazy about having foursomes because it's been like a laughing thing for ages. Who knows? Maybe he's on Instagram.
I want to talk about something else actually before we talk about the main thing to talk about in this podcast, and I don't even know what that is. But have you been? You probably haven't. Have you been following Britain's Got Talent?
No, I do know. I do know that Rafi is phenomenal. And
oh yeah, I mean that's
so-
that's a given, right? You know, there's certain things in life, you know, that are constants. Death, taxes, and Rafferty Coop is always going to smash it wherever he goes. However, there was an act on last week called the Maverick Magicians. And I'd love to know what you think, because they kind of went down that whole boy band of magic type route, in that there were three of them, three good-looking lads, and they were kind of doing magic at the desk. But there has been a lot of negative backlash against their act. Initially by Alex William Smith, but then in most forums, people have been very negative about their act. And I'm not 100% sure why, and I'd love to know what you think. So let me very quickly tell you what their act was. And then you can tell me what you think. So the three of them come down to the judge's desk. They get KSI to think of a word to do with something that they couldn't possibly know or Google or anything like that, and to write it down and put it on a piece of paper and hold it in his hand. So he does that. And one of the other ones says, he says to Simon, "Come with me." And it's all being filmed at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. So they walk out the Winter Gardens, so they're walking down the street, and cameras are following them walking down the street. And you see in the studio that the other judges are laughing because people are coming up to Simon wanting selfies and everything. And he walks down to this fruit shop, which randomly is set up at Hive. You know, whatever.
Oh yeah, I know Hive.
Yeah. So they grab a watermelon. They buy a watermelon from this shop.
Watermelon.
Yeah. Simon buys a watermelon and then comes back up into the Winter Gardens. While they're coming back into the Winter Gardens, the other two say to KSI, "So what was the word you were thinking of?" And he says the word, and it's the name of an old friend from school, I think, or something like that. And then they have Simon come up on stage with the watermelon. They hit it with a hammer, and inside is a piece of paper, and the piece of paper has the name that KSI is thinking of.
Right, okay.
That's effectively it. And I have never seen so much negative backlash from magicians about an act ever. And my attitude is we should be very grateful of any act that goes on Britain's Got Talent, because it really helps push magic in the right direction. You know, the more
if it's good magic.
Yeah. Well, it got four yeses. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I love the concept of, I think when you're going on Britain's Got Talent, and I think this is the thing that a lot of people miss, you've got to do something to stand out and be different. You've got to do something that's going to make people go, "Oh, that was different. That was unique." Like when Rylan went on Britain's Got Talent, he had all of the kids on stage with him. It wasn't just him, it was all of those kids. And that's that moment that everybody remembers, that he had all of these members of the Young Magicians Club on stage with him that were helping him do this trick.
Yeah.
With this, I think the hook is, oh, we're going to take Simon shopping and we're going to get him to walk around Blackpool looking for a watermelon. And that was a very funny moment. One of the things that magicians are saying is that there were three people in the act. It didn't need to be three people. But Alex William Smith and everybody, he was the first person to talk about this. He says, is it just me? Maverick Magician's act on Britain's Got Talent was a great example of everything that's wrong with magic and how to perform magic and mentalism. I truly hope Russ Stevens has nothing to do with it. In fact, I can't imagine he did, as 99% of the time his work is inspired genius. However, whoever was behind this should study the works of Kenton Nepper to study what real magic and mentalism is. At least Penn and Teller, from whom this clearly inspired, knows how to structure things correctly. It was just wrong on so many levels and setup of words. I've heard lay people near me saying way too much. Could I do better? Yeah, way better, blah, 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 blah. And he goes on about how he can do better. I thought he'd spoken to.
Wait, what was wrong with it?
Because
I haven't seen it and I'm not going to watch it. What is it, the thing that someone's saying is wrong with it?
So here's a comment. There's a world of difference between, for example, having a loaf of bread on stage at the start of the routine, and then after something has been freely chosen, having the loaf ripped apart to show that in advance you made a prediction that you baked inside the loaf to prove that it could not be messed with, compared to a randomly chosen fruit being pricked by Simon, and then an apparent prediction appears inside it, which suggests that you can make it seem as though something that was not inside the melon got in there after they knew what the person had chosen. Whereas, for example, a baked loaf of bread in view all the time, the suggestion is that it was always inside, and so was indeed a prediction. It seems very, very muddied, that it doesn't know what it is. But
that's a given. It's obviously stronger, 10 times stronger to have someone walk out, be interactive, go out, pick out a random anything, and the prediction to appear in there. That's obviously a million times stronger than just having the prediction. But I'm assuming that's not what Alex Smith's problem is it? What is he saying is the bad thing?
He's just saying the whole thing. It's just, I'm trying to read through and see stuff. Somebody else is saying, I did think something similar along the lines of a very off-the-shelf effect spread out over the course of multiple minutes with pointless outside broadcasts from Simon Cowell, depending more on audience surprise and wow rather than talent. No idea why there were three of them. No idea. There's just a lot of negativity about it, and a lot of people are taking the opportunity to say Britain's Got Talent is a joke, and I really just don't get it. I don't get it. Look, was it the greatest trick of all time? No.
This is the thing that gets me, and I'm a victim. I'm my own victim of this. We overthink our lizard brains so fucking much, and because we're so privy, most of us, to so many clever and complex methods that are fooling for magicians, we really, or someone like me anyway, because I'm just a dickhead, I really lose sight of what's important for the audience. For example, my boy Fred, he encouraged me, and I've done it, to pick up Lucky Ladybug by Deuce Scalia. Michael Bryan's company. Phenomenal, right? It's not a trick that I would ever perform. Not seeing it, I would totally dismiss it. And if this was done on Britain's Got Talent, magicians would come down on it like a ton of bricks. But Fred is out there doing this effect over and over and over. And it's basically, you have three cards. They all have ladybugs on them. Picture ladybugs. You put one of the ladybugs in someone's hand. They wave over it, and the ladybug vanishes off the card. And then they wait. You say, we'll do it again. When we come back, they wave again, and the ladybug stuck to the back of their hand. Really cute piece of sort of magic.
I'll tell you something about that trick. I reviewed it.
Right.
And the guys at Do Scala were very unhappy with the review.
Yeah.
And came.
Well, what did you say in your review?
We actually said it was a good trick. What they didn't like and what they wanted me to take down was Ryland's performance. Not because he performed it badly, but because his style of performing it was to scare the shit out of his sister because she's scared of ladybugs. So
My mum's scared of ladybugs.
so he wanted to do this trick where, so the way he presented it is, oh, there's ladybugs, and when she looked at the back of her hand, she freaked out, almost like The Web by Jim Pace, and
That's because Jim Pace is a nonce.
well,
Like
exactly.
Ted Hamilovich.
So they wanted me to take the performance down, really, because they were like, it's not representative of how the effect plays, and I'm like, well, lots of
Yes,
people
it is.
yeah, lots of
I
people
love Michael O'Brien, but if that's what happened in the performance,
it wasn't Michael O'Brien, actually, it was the other guy, because Michael O'Brien's got nothing to do with Deuce Scala anymore.
Oh, I was going to say,
Yeah, the other guy. And
Imagine
I said, no, I'm not taking it down. I said it was a good performance. We gave it a good review. We said in the review it could be quite cute if you wanted it to be. But to think that people aren't going to be scared when a ladybug appears on the back of their hand is wrong, because that very possibly could be the case. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. My mother would be scared because she's terrified of ladybugs. So I was planning to do it to her for a laugh. Either way, right? Fred's been doing this, and he's like, dude, it gets like, you know, it's kind of half not magic, half thing, but it's because it's not framed as a scary effect when you do it. And he's got loads of performance footage of it as well. He says, it's just an amazing thing to do,
Yeah,
and
it's a
it
great
is
trick.
right. So I've got one. I've got one coming to me. I'm excited for it to arrive, and I'm gonna do it when I get the opportunity. I know my little boy Thomas loves ladybugs and insects and stuff, and so and little toy things. So I'm gonna do it to him. It's gonna be a magical experience. But if somebody was and if somebody went on, I wouldn't say maybe not an effect as small playing as that, because on a big stage, it wouldn't hit. But it's the same line of thought, in the sense of like forcing a word and having it revealed in an object. To us lifers, it's 101, right? It's the day one things. But we lose sight so much of what's actually fucking important. And at the end of the day, for everyone saying they could have gone in there and done better, do it.
That's what drives me at the wall. That's what drives me at the wall. I have been in the Got Talent process, not as an act, but as supporting Ryland. And it is such a difficult, stressful, chaotic environment. It really is. And I always say this to people that go, I could do better than that act. I could do better than that act. Well, man up, nut up, fucking grab your balls out your jockstrap and don't just say it, do it. Because the bottom line is, it's not as easy as you think. You watch that final piece and you go, I could have done better than that. And you see magicians doing it all the time. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. Well, fucking go and do it then.
It's weird to say that I am always going to be a student of magic, never a master. And there are certain times when I look at a magician who fucks a trick up or butchers something, and I think, I think, like, you know, there's probably an example in the past where it could be on video. I've said I could probably do that better, but very rarely would I think I could do something better, unless somebody just like, if somebody was doing a triumph and they dropped the cards. No, even then I'd say no, because I fucked a triumph up. So, you know, to say that you could do it better. The thing is, like, there's so many threads to pull on this. Like, have you ever heard the story from David Williamson about the guy who fucking destroyed him by making dice vanish?
No.
So he's like, so there's a story, I think he tells it in his Penguin Live, where he sat down with someone and he's like, oh, have you seen my, I don't know what he says, like, either do you have dice or have you seen my dice effect? And he makes Williamson go and get some dice, which are in his room. So he has to fucking leave the table, go up in the elevator, walk along the miles of floorways to get to his hotel room, goes in, digs through his case, gets the dice, comes back down, sits at the table, gives him the dice, and he makes the dice vanish. And he said it's incredible. And without spoiling the thing, the method, to do it, the guy didn't need dice at all. But it was the fact that he made him go through the process of getting these dice was the big part of the entertainment and what fools the effect. And yeah, he could have walked out. Those magicians could have walked out on stage with a watermelon and done it. But a big part of the entertainment and what made it exciting for the audience, because they're not magicians in the audience, a big part of what made it entertaining and fooling was, and people say it's pointless and it was wasting time. The 4 yeses and the fact that they're through to the next phases and the memory is, look, if they had just revealed it in a paper bag, nobody would remember that effect. But anyone that watched that show will remember that unique experience of watching Simon Cowell meander around Blackpool looking for something random to buy in a shop, because it creates a visual narrative, regardless of if it
Genius
achieves it.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
clever.
that's more important in some ways when you want to do well in BGT. Having that real strong visual moment there is way more important
And it's
than
probably based off like Burglass, when he used to do TV shows and have people walking around the streets and doing things, so it's like based off like loosely like inspired by classic magic. So it's got the like classic roots in it. One of the things I saw was this is the most brain dead thing I can think of, but there are critics panning the new Mario movie, right?
I
But
haven't seen it yet, but I'm
I
excited.
haven't seen it, but kids are going absolutely apeshit for it, apparently, right? But critics are panning it, and there's a bunch of other movies that I've seen out there that kids movies that critics absolutely pan, like they give it like 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, yet they are like the most popular and most beloved kids films of all time. And it's like, mate, these critics, if I was a movie critic, I would not be allowed at my age to review a kids movie in my head,
Yeah.
unless there was unless I was reviewing it because they broke the law, like, and they showed like tits in it. Do you know what I mean? But a kids movie is designed for kids. I am not qualified to tell kids if it's good or not. The only person qualified to tell me if it's good are the kids. And it's the same for magic done on stage for lay audiences. And we can criticize the technique, but we can't criticize how entertained the audience were and the judges, because we've taken the pill. We
Yeah.
are out of the matrix. We
Yeah.
are unqualified to critique certain elements, the important elements of those things. But I haven't seen. I will say, right, because I'm sure I'm going to get attacked by someone for this. I don't know who, but if people are commenting and they're against it, I haven't seen it. So there could be something that you're missing out in the comments that they're criticizing it for, which is a big red flag.
Yeah, but the other thing is I've been quite negative about stuff in the past, bad reviews, negative reviews, but try to find somewhere online of me being negative about a performance of a magician on television. I will never do that, because the bottom line is any performance on television, especially a performance that's perceived well, which with that you listen to the audience in that theater, they loved it. They got 4 yeses. You see that's good for magic.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
people will want to buy magic, book a magician, be interested in magic because of that performance than not. And I've always hated it when magicians go on their personal Facebook and go, "I've just seen this magician perform and he's shit. I could do so much better." Motherfucker, you're just making yourself look bad.
And I think the problem is most of them are not going to get through those stages of Britain Got Talent, because the big caveat as well is that they're not just looking for a really good magician. They're looking for somebody who's got the look, who's got the skill, but it's also got something about them that most other people just don't have. Like, whatever it is, you can't bottle it. They got to have that X factor. And I think that's what's good about when you see these magicians doing well on these shows, is that because the general public, if somebody gets a golden buzzer or gets through to the live shows on Britain's Got Talent, to the general audience, those people are stars now. They're celebrities. And the more people perceive magicians to be stars and celebrities instead of losers and goofballs that people don't want to associate with, the more that the magicians are put into that category of higher status than they are of lower status, the better for magic. And that's why magic on the back end is in a golden era, because more people are getting into magic because it's being put onto a higher pedestal. People who are magicians are now perceived to be at a higher social standard. Whereas I wouldn't necessarily say it was the same throughout the entire course of history. So yeah, like for example, I wouldn't get a golden buzzer on BGT. I don't have. I'm a proficient magician. I'm not a great magician. I can get through a trick, but I definitely don't have the look, right? Because they're looking for somebody who's going to be cool and fresh and makes other people go, this, somebody who's got like a future. I don't have a future. I don't have the look. I don't have that star quality You know, there's something about certain people. You meet them, you go, "That's a star. He's a star. They're a star."
Yeah.
And some people you meet and you think, "Oh, fucking have a wash, mate." You know, you look at Rafferty Cooper. First time I met Rafferty, I knew he was a star.
Yeah.
I've got videos of him performing coin tricks on my phone, and when he was little, to me at Blackpool, he came up to me after my lecture, and I remember saying when he walked away, me and Katie were chatting about him, like, "Oh, that kid's gonna be a star," literally. And certain people have that quality about them, and no matter Rafferty could have gone on BGT, for example, and done cross-cut force, reveal the card, written on a piece of paper in an envelope, and he would have probably got through because
he's
he
got
just
that
got
star
something
quality.
about him. Yeah, and unfortunately, I'd say 95% of magicians don't, and you can't force it. You can't force, you can't
There you
force it.
go. No.
I don't have it. I know for a fact I don't. Whatever that star quality is, I don't have it. You don't have it. Otherwise, you'd be on TV. The work
Yeah.
ethic you have and hard work, and it's not offensive to say that. I think the
No.
moment you're good, you know what you're good at, and you're not built for television. You're not young enough. Same as me. I'm not young enough. Both of us are pretty fucking ugly. We are too obsessed with magic itself, I think,
Yeah.
as well. I'm far too
Yeah.
obsessed with magic. Just I want to fucking create magic tricks all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what, and I think the moment some people realize that neither do they can stop. I'm gonna go at people who just have it. Like those three guys you said that are on BGT, they probably just have something about them that make people gravitate towards them, and whatever they do would be perceived well. The halo
Yep.
effect.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Yep. Yep. I'm right there with you, brother. So we've covered BGT. We've covered
BGT completed it, mate.
completed it. What else has been going on in the world of magic? Have you heard anything, any rumors?
No, tell me, because we haven't caught up since. Well, the last time we caught up was on a podcast, so everyone knows exactly where our personal lives are, that we know about each other. But I don't know much about what's happening with the Yigal Masika case. So I saw that you posted a new video last night. I haven't watched it.
Of course you haven't.
How much can you legally tell me?
So to briefly summarize it, because it's all very, very
2 words that have never been said by Craig Petty.
it's very complicated, and I obviously have to be very careful about what I say and can't say. But here's the thing: he's when you sue somebody, it's called a complaint, right? It's called a complaint, and he's put in his final complaint, which basically means he can't really amend it anymore. This is it. It's done. So everything that's in there is what he's kind of saying. It's his final complaint.
But just to right. So I do know then that his first 2 complaints, he's had 2 attempts at this, right? And the judge has told him they were shit, and he had to try again.
I'm not going to say.
I'm paraphrasing.
The one that went before this, he was told to amend the complaint, and he put in an amended complaint, and the judge said he had to try again, I think, or something like that, and then that's when he put in this complaint.
But the judge said he had to try again because he hadn't done it correctly or something.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
You're not allowed to plead the 5th here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm pleading the 5th, right? I'm not 100% sure. What I can tell you is this is his final complaint. And now we have 21 days to respond. And obviously, his complaint, he is suing both myself and Penguin, which is a really difficult situation to be in because they are completely separate to me. They have their own legal representation. I have my own legal representation. Never the twain shall cross. So what they are doing, I have no idea about because I can't even talk to them legally. I don't even know what they're doing. What I can tell you is they are really kind of being sued over a completely different thing. The thing that he's going after them for is more to do with they facilitated my video. So like they put me up to it, or they were the reason why this video was made, which is obviously not the case. They found out.
Oh, so he's trying to say that they made you or asked you to like get involved.
Yeah, along those lines. Yeah. Well, you know as well as me.
Well, that's not going to go down very well.
The first thing they found, yeah, they found out about this video at the same time as everyone else. But they're doing their own thing. They've got their lawyers doing their own.
I did some up until I kept an eye on it up until about a fortnight ago, and I might be wrong, but wasn't it something like the judge had almost effectively thrown out Penguin's case, but then have allowed him to amend some of his arguments to give him like a third chance to try and defend his own. Is that sort of right?
I don't fully understand.
But basically, it looks like Penguin are pretty much.
Well, it would be very difficult for him to prove that Penguin put me up to anything, because we didn't. And in his
prove the sky is neon yellow at all times.
Well, in his latest complaint, he's put a lot of evidence in there to show that that's the case. So, for example, he's got pictures of me working on the Penguin booth to kind of show that me and Penguin are in cahoots, because I work with Penguin. But I work with everybody. I'm going to be at the Alakazam booth in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be, I go on everyone's booths. I work with everybody in this industry. I've just come back from California working with Murphys, so whatever.
Yeah, if you're an employee of Penguin, then fuck me. You're working 340-hour weeks for Penguin, for Murphys, for Alakazam, for Trick Boom, maybe. Who else's stand have you been on?
Exactly, everyone's stand. So yeah. I mean that there's that, but he's but now I have to put my complaint in. I have to respond to my complaint. The big problem with this whole thing isn't anything else other than it's very, very, very expensive to defend yourself. Because I can't. One, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't defend myself. Two, even if I was a lawyer, which I'm not, this is very specifically about law in California, and it's a federal court case. There's a lot going on here. So,
isn't the general MO in a case like this? Obviously, Eagle knows he's not in the right, but he's really embarrassed about being called out publicly for what he's done. So the idea is just to try and financially drain you to make your life hell.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. That is an opinion that is held by more than one.
I wasn't saying it either. I'm asking, isn't that like when people, from what I see in the news, when other people do these things to people, is that they they just want to make someone's life miserable.
What I will say is, at the moment, me and Yeagle seem to be playing a game of who can burn the most money.
Right.
And the only people.
Well, honestly, it's so fucking mentally ill to me, this type of shit. This is just not how people with integrity should. I know you have you can't do anything about this. But if I was arguing with someone about something, you like this, you just fucking state your cases and let the people decide.
Which is what,
such a fucking pussy way to handle it. It's so humiliating. It makes my skin crawl.
It's crazy. It really is. And I talk about free speech a lot in this case, which I know I had a couple of people post from America going, what does the UK person know about free speech? Free speech exists no matter what country you're from. Yeah. It really does. And it is really a free speech issue here. And when I say that this case is bigger than me, I genuinely mean it. And the reason is, let's just look into the context of what this is. I put a video up called The Dissolution of Yigal Masika, talking about what happened between him and Mark Bennett.
Mm-hmm. And then show it from other people's experiences with him that he's
not just that, Lloyd. It wasn't me. One of the things that the lawsuit says is I invented the controversy. It was my video that caused the controversy. To be clear, People were talking about this for weeks and months before my video even went up. And let's just think about that for a minute. Like, if you go back I encourage everybody to go on YouTube and go and watch the Wizard product review from a year before my video went up in 2024, and go and watch the review that David Penn said about Yiga Masika's ring flight. And you will see that David brings up Rinky Dinky. He brings up patents. He says he can't understand how this is patented. He did all of that. He had
it was
5-minute thing.
Yeah, this was very much openly talked about long before your video came along.
Way
and not
before.
David Penn.
A week and a half before my video went up, there was a graphic shared all over Facebook with a picture of a key and a picture of a AirTag, and it said underneath, creativity should not.
It's like sort of like yeah. I remember. Yeah, you didn't get involved until like a year after.
Yeah. So this is not me, but this is the crux of the matter, right? This is the thing. The whole point of this is my video created the controversy, which negatively impacted his standing in the community, and it negatively impacted his financial, the sale of his items or whatever the case may be. Whilst in reality, people had been talking about this from the second that the ring flight came out. And then when the situation happened between Mark Bennett and Yiga Masika, that then was talked about openly. Go look on Facebook. Go look at Magicians Only. Go and look in Magicians Only and go and search for Yiga Masika ring flight, and you will see threads in there 6 months before my video came up of people very openly talking about how can this be patented? How can this be patented? How can this be patented? So my video was not a video that was made to cause controversy. I was commenting
on the pre-existing commentary.
On a pre-existing thing, right? And it's not like I went out on the reason, people talk about how it was an epic 3-hour video. Yeah, it was an epic 3-hour video. And one of the reasons it was so long is because I didn't want to give my opinion without actually providing reference points. So that's why I had interviews with Mark Bennett. That's why I had interviews with Steve Sheraton. That's why I had interviews with Tom Wright. That's why I had interviews with Jao Miranda. That's why I had interviews with Sean Begonia. That's why I included all of that footage, because I didn't want to just go and say, hey, this is fact, because I didn't. If you go back and look at that video, I very clearly say, this is what this person says. Based on what this person says, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Based on what this person says, this is my opinion on something that the entire community is already talking about.
Honestly, this is the same situation as like when people become whistleblowers and then the people they've exposed try and destroy their lives. And it's like, mate, have some self-reflection. Don't come after maybe right the wrongs first. That if honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't be trying to attack everyone around me and trying to get money off them. Just fucking mad to think about. As a man, I'd be saying sorry to a lot of people.
Well, yeah.
I just come from a different world where if I fuck up, I just apologize and try my best to be.
But this is why it's a First Amendment issue. This is why it's a freedom of speech issue. Because very simply put, I made a video. I spent hours interviewing various different people, and I made a video on something that the entire community was talking about, and now I'm being sued.
Yeah. So basically what it sets is a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it means now in future, if somehow he manages to, I can't even say win the case, but if somehow he manages to get, then everyone in the future, if the next time someone does use the tactics that he's been using behind the scenes, and publicly, because everyone knew about it before your video came along, no one's gonna want to expose the bad guys. No one's going to want to call them out for what they're doing, and they're going to just keep getting away with it. And it almost gives people, it gives people a green light to go, do you know what? I'm just going to start ripping everything off and selling it as my own. Because if anyone calls me out, I'll fucking sue them. I'll silence them. I'll get some fucking more money, and I can do it again.
It's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous precedent. And the other thing is, I thought I'd done everything right. Like, if you go back and watch the video, it's, you know, one of the things that that the whole lawsuit is all about is that you know, I have to prove that he has to prove that actual malice was there. So in other words, that I was out to get him. Basically, I was saying fact. I was lying on purpose about the whole situation. Look back at the video I made. I actually reached out to him. I texted him before the video even went out, and I went, "Hey, Eagle, I'm planning on putting a video. I'd love to get your side of the story. I'd love to. Please send me a video clip, and I am going to upload it unedited. We can have a conversation about this." And the only time, you know, we went back and forth with 7 or 8 text messages. The only time we stopped talking was when he said, "I don't want to speak to you anymore. I don't want you to text me anymore." So I stopped texting him. But up until that point, you know, I wanted to do everything right in this situation. I wanted to reach out to Eagle. I wanted to have other people on the video, because I wanted the people to understand that what I was giving was literally just my opinion. And here's the important thing, Lloyd, and anybody who's listening to this podcast, here's the important thing. Go and find one thing that I say about Eagle where I'm personally insulting him. Yes, I call him a patent troll, based on all the evidence that was presented to me by interviewing people like Mark Bennett, by interviewing people like Steve Sheraton, by interviewing all of these people, and also looking at everything else. In my opinion, he was being a patent troll. I stand by that opinion. That doesn't change. That hasn't changed. But find a place where I've insulted him. Because here's the thing. If you go back and you look at the video he put on me, after he sued me, by the way, so he sued me, and then he put a video on YouTube, and you know, the scandal of Craig Petty. Go look at some of the comments that people make, and go and look at where he is actually commenting in those. He's replying to people's comments, because you will see that he's commenting and saying, you know, there's so many different comments. At one point, he calls me a vile person. At one point, he says that I'm a terrible performer. At one point, he says so much in the comments. Now, go look at the comments on the video I put up. Go look at the comments on the video, because I comment an awful lot. Go look at the replies to the comments I made. I never said anything negative about Eagle. And if there were any negative comments, I deleted them, because I didn't want to have it about personally attacking Yiga Masika. I wanted it to be about the subject matter, which I believed, and I still believe, is an important thing for the community to talk about. Because at the crux of the matter, what we have here is somebody trying to patent a ring flight that's been around since Quran's days.
Steve Sheraton's ring flight.
Yeah. Off the back of doing that, he's trying to patent a ring flight. And then go back and watch the video if you don't realize this, because a lot of people haven't watched the video and they're making their opinion without seeing the video. And then off the back of that, trying to actually stop Mark Bennett from releasing his version, which is in an air flight, because of a patent that's not even been granted based on a principle that's hundreds of years old. That's what we're talking about here. That's why I got involved. And to be clear, this wasn't even my fight. And you know what? People, the amount of times I've seen magicians discuss this whole thing, and they'll turn around and they'll say, why does Craig have to interject himself into every situation? Why does Craig have to bring himself into that situation? You know what? This is a question that my wife has asked me ever since that I've got Yeagle's complaint. Ever since it got hand-delivered to my office, my wife has asked me that question over and over again. She's asked me over and over again, why do you have to get involved in other people's arguments and other people's discussions? And you want to know why? The simple reason is, if I don't, who will? There's Mark Bennett really upset about this whole situation, being told he has to pull his product, being told that Murphy's Magic will no longer wholesale it, which is a big deal when you're an independent producer, being told that he has to give a percentage of his earnings from the product to Mr. Masika, and that's fact. You can hear the interview with Mark Bennett. You can see him saying that. That is exactly what he was asked for. Because he's decided to release an air flight, a ring flight in an air tag, he's been so. And there's Mark in a situation he doesn't know what to do with. I have a voice in this community. I've worked hard to have a platform in this community. I've worked hard to have people, to have an audience of people that listen to me. If I don't make a stand, if I don't interject myself, then how can I be considered a good friend? Because all I did is I stood up for a mate. And you know what? When it's all said and done, I am now more stressed than I ever have been in my entire life. I'm playing a game of who can burn the most money, and I am running dry. And anyone that can support and help, please do. But the bottom line is, despite all of that, if I could go back in time, I would do exactly the same thing again, because Yeagle's Mark Bennett's product ended up going back into Murphy's, which is exactly what I was aiming to do, because it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't right to do that. I don't know. I think it has to be a bit opinion based, like to try and. I think just it's so important that people who are anyone that's listening, that's a magician, an artist, a creative in any realm, to think that they could, if he gets away with this, then it's such a dangerous thing for all creatives, because it means that this is a big win for the wrong thing. It means that anyone now in future could say, right, that thing that you created 10 years ago, I'm going to change it this much. I'm going to own that entirely then. And then anyone that comes out with something that changes it this much and it's better, I get that. I'm getting a cut of that. That you're not fucking doing that. Because, don't mention his, right? I'd put it on the side. But this is mine now. Do you know what I mean? It's like fucking hell. It's like someone could patent the ambitious card and say, literally be like, right, nah, it's so.
It sounds stupid.
I can't even put it into words.
Yeah.
It feels like, honestly, to me, I don't think this is, if this was in a movie, right, like The Social Network or the story of like BlackBerry or whatever, you almost wouldn't believe it. It's like cartoon villain level shit. Yep.
It really is.
And the response should have been, fuck, I made a massive error. I really thought the ring flight was mine. The response should be, guys, I've just had a really bad year and I'm just taking it out on all my peers. I'm sorry. I know that's not mine. I know yours is nothing like mine. I apologize. Instead, he's just gone like, you're getting sued. You're getting sued. You'll get a lawsuit. You'll get a lawsuit. It's fucking meant. I cannot wrap my head around that. I just come from a different world where, like, it's not even about being a man. It's about just being a good, decent human being with integrity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just cannot wrap my head around that thinking. And even if he says it affected his earnings with that effect, then if anyone should be getting financially reimbursed, it's like Steve Sheraton for his Rinky Dinky effect. If anyone, what I mean? It's like, well, you can complain that if it is affecting his bottom line. It's like, and rightfully so, mate. You've done the wrong thing here. Like, you shouldn't be financially benefiting from this situation.
The thing is,
he never got permission from Steve Sheraton, right?
No,
in the first place, right? So,
or Dave Bonsall. Let's not throw.
And Dave Bonsall, who give both those people give Mark Bennett permission. So Why is he crying if it is affecting his income off it? It's not even. Oh my god! I cannot. I don't get. Like, surely he knows. It's kind of like one of those things. Like, are we aliens? Is all the magic community aliens, and we just cannot think? Or is he also like he gets it and he's like, yeah, guys, I know, but come on, there's fucking money to be had here. Because that's the only way I could see this in any weird way, shape, or form making any logical sense to me.
I know. I get it. It's just crazy.
It's just, to me, it's this magic, especially as a creator. Like, my whole thing is creating. It ain't about money. The moment you think it's about money, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's about making magic, improving magic, and sharing it. If someone has something that's similar to yours, but is an improvement, say fucking amazing. Do it. Good luck. How can I help?
Yeah. You know, it is what it is, you know, and again, to be clear, my video was based on something that everybody was already talking about. Everyone was already talking about it. Everybody already knew what was going on. Everybody already knew about the Mark Bennett air flight situation. That's why there were graphics being posted all over the internet. That's why people were talking about it in Facebook groups. That's why people were talking about it on Magic Cafe. That's why online review forums were talking about it. That's why the Wizard Product Review were talking about it. It was already a thing that people were talking about. And all I did is I made a video because that's what I do. Go ask AI.
You are a magic commentary channel. You leave commentary about all elements of the magic industry, specifically the product industry.
Yep.
So, good luck.
You know what? I spent a long time being worried. I spent a long time being stressed. I spent a long time thinking, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" That moment that we were hand delivered this thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, I just don't know I don't know what I'm going to do." You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. But you know what? I'm still nervous. I'm still worried. I'm still stressed out. I'm still scrambling around trying to find money to fight this. But you know what? What I am more now than ever before is I am fucking pissed off. And that is not a situation you want to have me in. I am really fucking pissed off, because when I'm pissed off, then that's when I'm like, right, okay, I'm too dumb to quit. And I've got no choice. I can't not fucking fight because I have no other option. I'm stuck over here in the UK. I have no choice. So there's your update. But genuinely, if anybody can help financially, I'd really appreciate it, because this is, you know, I've got this Go Send Go, you know, I'll put the link down.
Yeah, what is it? Let me tell people what the URL is. Go sendgo.com/, and there's a hyphen between each of these words, sued for speaking out.
And you know what? I fucking hate this. I hate asking for money. I'm not that guy. You know that. I'm so not money motivated.
You're the guy that gives everyone money, and especially privately.
And I'm in this situation, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate being put into this situation. I hate it with all my heart and soul.
I love that so many of so many people I love that some of the names that I've donated.
Yeah.
It would piss him off so much if he knew.
Yeah.
Goes to show though that even apart from the tiny handful of diehards for him, everyone knows who's in the right on this. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Page Cake's video was interesting. He talked about some email scam. You seen that?
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's really interesting. I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole right now. However, that's something that I can definitely revisit when all this is said and done. When all this is said and done, and all the smoke has cleared, and all the dust has settled, at that point, then you'll get my opinion on that.
Yeah, I'd love to know. Yeah, because I watched that.
I have thoughts. I have a lot of fucking thoughts, and I'm more than happy to.
Because there's so many people were saying online, you can find all the comments, how the fuck have I ended up on Eagle Masika's email list. I've never bought a product from him, never been on his list. And then Pigcake put a video up and it shows like that apparently, and of course, this is all, I think there was conjecture or opinion, but apparently there's there's a website called, fucking hell, what's it called?
I've heard his video.
stolenbymasika.com. And on that website, there's a PDF of evidence that shows an email thread between a guy called Roy Zaltzman and Yigal Masika. And in a nutshell, Yigal pays this guy in product to scrape emails from magic websites like Penguin Magic, the Magic Cafe, Theory 11, Illusionist, the Magic Circle, a bunch of magic shops and magic websites to scrape the users' email addresses and place them onto a mailing list. And I think he got like, was it 30,000 or something?
Yeah.
30,000 emails. So obviously I seen the comments online, and a few of my mates asked me about it. How the fuck am I on Yigal Masika's mailing list? I don't really understand this type of world. But apparently doing that is pretty, depending on what country, and pretty fucking illegal.
Yeah.
And yeah, so also you just don't, like, that's super, super shitty to do. Like, it's a proper, like, dick move to, like, steal people's personal information, put on a mailing list. Anyway, I don't know if he did it or not, but this is the thing that Pigcake put up, and there's apparently PDF evidence to prove it. That to me almost feels like equally as big of an issue as this.
Yeah, like I say, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but at some point I will. But you know, just read through the site. It's a very interesting site to read through. Kind of gets you into the head of the person.
I was going to say, if it's true, because you know, people are crazy. This could also be fabricated or something at the same time as not being fabricated. But if it's true, it's pretty compelling evidence. If it's true, it just, that coupled with what he's doing to you, what he's done to other people via the interviews they've done, their first-hand experiences, it just kind of shows you what type of human he is.
Yeah,
it makes me sad. I would much rather give people the benefit of the doubt, but like when there's just so much that someone's done, you just kind of think, fucking hell.
Well, you know, I mean, you're never the villain in your own story.
That's true. Everyone thinks they're the hero of their own movie.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that really, really don't like me. That are.
I'm one of them.
God, yeah, exactly. God, that this goes sad for me.
Oh yeah, there are some people that don't like you and think I've literally seen a comment about this where they want you to lose even though they know you're in the right, but they just don't fucking like you. Which I'm like, oh, you know what? I can get on board with that. I've seen this in the past in like other news stories where there's someone that's like, yeah, he might be right, but he's also a dick.
Fair play. And you know what? They're entitled to their opinion. That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, I found it funny that Mr. Masika put an email out and he said, good news. It was an update thing a few months ago. And he was like, good news for the Magic community. And then he talked about how, you know, I don't know, he's doing well against Penguin and me or something. I can't remember exactly. But
how is he going to frame it? I'm very confident he's going to lose. What's the narrative he's going to spin? I shouldn't probably ask you. But
yes, don't ask me. I don't know. But what I can say is this. You may love me. You may hate me. You may think I'm terrible for the Magic community. That's fine. But we have two people here. We have two entities. I make dozens of videos every single week. I try to give back to the community as much as I can. Look at my Q&A from Sunday. I was literally dying in an Airbnb with my family, and I still got up at the crack of dawn to film a video so that everybody got their questions answered. And I try over and over.
You don't have to prove how much you do for the community. Everyone
Yeah.
knows.
And then you've got somebody whose YouTube channel is literally just videos attacking me and Penguin Magic. And the only time you see this person is when he's got something else to sell. When else do you remember seeing him? Does he ever pop up in discussions? The only time you ever see him is when he's got something to sell or he's defending something that he's selling. And yet he's the one that's good for the community. Can somebody explain that to me in the comments? Because I don't see that myself. Not that I'm like the angel of like, not that I'm the greatest thing that the Magic community has ever seen. I'm close, but I'm not the greatest thing the Magic. You know, it's just weird to me, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine. I'll probably set Ryland on him at some point. Yeah, nobody wants that.
No, that's a fate worse than death. But well, okay.
There's your update.
So things are going well. Things are going.
I need an update from you in the ongoing drama of the Jerx versus the Unnamed Magician. I understand that you've inserted yourself into this situation a little bit, and you have a little bit of.
Wow, no, I haven't inserted myself into their drama together. I just had a call with the Unnamed Magician.
There you go. I don't even know who he is.
I had a
He's
4-hour call with him.
I don't know who he is. I wouldn't even know how to pick up the call and have a call because he's an unnamed motherfucker. Oh, he's just another member of my Discord. He's part of my Patreon. He's you.
Yeah, right. He's publicly, he comments in my Discord and stuff. Yeah, dude, mate, my Discord's the place to be. Basically, I want to try and be as careful with what I say as possible.
Can I just say before I want to know the thought? I'm kind of look. We've got an interesting history. Me and the Jerx. It's kind of a love-hate frenemy type thing. I feel like from an outsider's perspective looking in, and I've read everything on this from the Unnamed Magician's point of view. I've read everything on this with the Jerx. I'm in camp Jerx on this one. I'm Andy all the way.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that the Unnamed Magician was in my Discord until after our last podcast went out, and I spoke about my thoughts on it too. And so he popped up in there. I know the username, but I didn't know that was him. And he just publicly told everyone, "This is me." So, the strangest thing in the whole Jerx, but I understand why he said it. But the strangest thing in the whole Jerx posts about this is his immediate dismissal that this is a possible effect. I just feel like, especially with how long he's been in the Jerx has been in the Magic industry, he would be a bit more open-minded to be like, oh fuck, actually this is a real method. But, and I said this on the call with the Unnamed Magician, is that I said I have to be 100% real with you. This does look like a cash grab because you said it's going to cost loads of money. You may never release it if it doesn't hit your target. There's no deadline. There's no definitives at all. It's kind of like, I've got this trick which looks unbelievable. Send me money and I might teach it to you at some point in the future. I said that honestly. I was like, just from an outside perspective, that just looks like, I said, if you're going to do that, I said, what you need to do if you're going to sell it publicly is you got to give a deadline, a definitive deadline. Like, okay, right, I'm taking the pre-orders until May 1st or August 1st, whatever it's going to be. And on that date, if I've crossed my threshold of sales, you will learn it. And if not, you will automatically be refunded. That way, it gives people confidence. It doesn't look like a cash grab. And it's a lot more like open. I said, you do that, you give yourself a deadline or something along those lines, or you tell people how the sales are climbing, and instantly you're on the front foot, or you're in a better position. And he was like, oh shit, I didn't think of it like that. If I don't take this offer I've been made, I will be definitely doing that. Here's the issue. So I won't say the financial amount, but it's not it's not. So a third party has made him an offer to buy the rights to it, and the offer's real, and it's not as much as I've seen for other things. It's more than the Jerx is offering. Even when he said I'm going to offer $5,000 more, it's more than that. But it's a legit offer, but it's not an offer that's out of this world at all.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask two questions? One, has the person or parties that have made the offer, are they aware of the workings of the trick? Because
No.
So they're making
it comes with a contract, which is essentially that the offer or the money is null and void if it's not true what he's saying. So if it doesn't have a hit rate of 95%, if it doesn't hit XYZ, then obviously he's not keeping the money.
Got it.
So he has to stick to his conditions, which is fair. The financial amount is, it's more than the Jerx is offering, but it's nowhere near as much of at least 3 other offers that I'm publicly aware of for other things that I'm privately aware of, and one of them is even a private one. So I know the Jerx said he hasn't been made that offer. He actually has been made that offer, and it's a real offer. And it's for a large sum of money, but it's nowhere near the largest I know of in at least 3 different scenarios. One of them being to one of my own effects. So yeah, it's strange because the Jerx is being so dismissive, and I think that either he stands by what he says, or it's maybe in an attempt to goad him to be more forthcoming with the information of the method. So I don't know. It's extremely really. I never thought he'd have that stance on it. Either way,
do you know
the predicament the Unnamed Magician's in is that?
Can I just ask? Do you know the method?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay. Right. Okay.
But what I will say is that this is not the first time the Magic community has seen an effect and called and said the effect is too good to be true, only to be proved wrong. This is one of dozens and dozens and dozens of scenarios where this is the case. I personally fucking love these situations. I love it when someone comes up with a trick and everyone goes, "There's no fucking way that can be done." And then you learn the method and go, "Holy shit, was I wrong?" And that's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And it's just another one of those scenarios. So the predicament that the Unnamed Magician finds himself in is that the parties that want to buy the IP to this want it to themselves, right? Which means that he couldn't publicly sell it or share the method, right? They're going to buy the IP to it. Pretty much a bog standard like acquisition of an effect that we see a lot behind the scenes for TV shows, stage magic, or private performers. Pretty bog standard offer. Not the highest offer I've ever seen. More than the Jerx thinks, though. The real problem that the Unnamed Magician has at this point, though, is that if he was to accept this offer, which I think he should, he's gonna be called a bullshitter until he does something, which I'll explain.
So the offer is not to have a company release it.
No, this person's a private buyer that wants it for themselves. And you and me both know a couple of people that do this.
Yeah.
A couple of people do this, and for a lot more. I'm
assuming if he took this deal and he gave it to one person to use, he'd have to sign an NDA.
Yes. Yeah.
So in other words, he would be considered a bullshitter because he's got people on the cafe, he's got people all over the internet, he's got the Jerx, calling him out on bullshit, and he would have to give everyone who's pre-ordered their money back, and he'd have to say, "Oh, I've sold it to a private buyer," which sounds like a cop-out.
Yeah. So he said to me, "Look, do you think I could make more on my own selling this to people publicly, like, through a website, or would I make more off the private offer? And he told me how much it is. And it's between, I know what it is because we had a private phone call. And I said, I think in a perfect world, I said, right, the thing is, you look at something like the break, it's essentially would be a download, right? I said, you look at something like the breakthrough system that's just come out, yeah? That's done really well. I'm pretty confident it's earned more than your private offer, considerably more than your private offer. But there's a few things which come in place of that. One, he has not a huge support, but he really hit the ground running with his marketing. Plus, they've had a few huge successes to ride the back of that wave with. Secondly, the breakthrough system, the method can't just be shared in one sentence because there's 15 different methods.
Yeah.
So you can't just share it with your mates. Like everyone that's asked me about it, I said, what can you tell me about it? I said, even if I was to sit down and tell you, it's going to take like an hour. Like that's why it's such a good course, because it's a masterclass essentially, like I literally, it can't be given away easily. I said, your problem lies in that it's the method can be explained quickly. And the moment that method's out there, you lose all your buying power, because as soon as someone sees the method, they're going to go, oh, it's, they could just say, oh, it's just XYZ. Done, right? I said, the other problem lies in that with the breakthrough system, Johannes could show people like Greg Wilson, me, and you, and other people, the series of methods, because you couldn't just share them, right? So even if I was to share one of the methods for the breakthrough system, it wouldn't explain the other 99% of it, or 95%, whatever it's going to be. That your problem is loose lips are going to sink ships. The moment you share it with someone who can give you that, who can tell, could be a verifiable person,
going to be charged with.
They're going to say it's this, and that will spread like wildfire.
Yep.
And really, the only way to sell this, way to get this sold, because I said you're going to have to sell it as a pre-sale, I believe, to do it publicly, because the moment it goes live, it'll be pirated, or people will just tell everyone the method. So you'd have to do it in like, right, this is legit.
I thought there was a physical product that was attached to it as well.
I'm not going to say anything, right?
Okay.
But I said, look, essentially, right, this is a product that's based solely on one singular secret. So the moment it's available to download, it's going to be pirated, or people are just going to watch it and tell everyone. I said, I think you'd have to work your bollocks off to do it the way Johannes has done it, and even then, it's in a unique category of its own. So, in my personal opinion, with my limited experience on the side, you could work your ass off and potentially earn that much money that you've been offered, or take the offer. I said you've got to contend with. There's two things I would consider or think about. You've got to contend with being called a bullshitter. Right? I said, but you can do that while relying on that big bed of cash. I said, the other thing you could do is, you fooled magicians in the past. I said, how much do you love this effect? Because for me, and in one of the scenarios I can think of, the effect that I was offered over 6 figures for was something that I would not. A big reason why I didn't is because it meant I couldn't do that, and I love the effect too much. I said, would you be happy never performing this trick again? Like, is this your baby? Or was this just something you came up with and you have better things? And he said, to be honest with you, I don't even really like this plot that much. I just stumbled upon the method. I have far more magician fooling things out there in my catalog. I said, great. I said, well, there you go. There's your answer to me. I said, sell it privately, take the backlash, but then put up another video of another effect that's equally as fooling, but actually have that method ready to be released. So you can go, look, you called, a lot of people called bullshit on your previous work until they found the methods out. They called bullshit on this, and unfortunately you sold it to the highest bidder. They're going to call bullshit on your next thing, and again, you'll just release the secret to that. It's just the one thing they couldn't figure out, they're going to call bullshit on because they couldn't figure it out. But you've got to, if you can prove that you consistently keep fooling magicians and they call bullshit until they learn the method, then suddenly that doesn't look like too much bullshit because it's just the one they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
That's what I would do in that scenario. So I wouldn't be surprised if nobody else learns nobody learns the method up until for all the time. I think it's a great goal for everyone else to be inspired by and learn towards. I created a trick based off seeing it. It's on my Patreon. I put it up on my YouTube performance. I liked the idea of him going through the deck after the shuffle. I thought it was quite an interesting approach. It inspired me. So yeah. I mean, the Jerx's viewpoint on it is, I don't know, it's just very un-Jerx. Not as open-minded as I would have assumed you normally would be. But again, I did say, and the Unnamed Magician agrees with me, it does look like a fucking cash grab the way it was framed up until this point.
Yeah.
So that does lead to being a lot more suspicious of it and having a lot more doubts. But ultimately, it's a real method, and he's been made a very good offer. Not the highest offer by a mile that I've ever seen, but it's more than the Jerx is. And I think he'd be a fool not to take it. If he doesn't take it, then he's probably going to earn less just to go, haha, see, oh, not haha, see, told you all, it's a real. And then everyone goes, oh yeah, fuck, that is the method. Well, fuck. You know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens, but it might fizzle out now. If he takes that deal, we probably won't hear anything again. That's a shame. We'll have to wait.
What if I was the Jerx, because he's a very wealthy man, I would... Also, I don't think he should have published his email. He did. The Unnamed Magician said, I hope this stays between us. As just as like a decency thing. Whatever. If I was the Jerk, I'd say, right, tell me your highest offer, and I agree right now to up it by $5,000.
That's what he did. That's what he said.
No, he said, if you're trying to earn $20,000, I'll pay you $25,000, didn't he?
No, I'm pretty sure he said he'd up it.
If the Jerks is going to offer $5,000 more than the highest offer, I can be used as an intermediary, by the way. I know what that offer was, that the private offer.
No, I'm reading it here. Hang on, I've just got it up in front of me. But
so the Jerks can happily come to me, and
second, my offer. Hang on, third, even if you come in here. So here we go. So he said, secondly, my offer wasn't just $20,000. It was $20,000 with you retaining the rights. That's already an unusually favorable deal. So when you say you have better offers, it raises the more basic question, what would a better offer even look like? Third, even if you're considering some other offer, you're still taking pre-sales on this. Why wouldn't you still want the most public skeptic of your trick to confirm it's legitimate? Fourth, just to get this off the table, you no longer have a better offer. As of right now, I'm offering $5,000 more than whatever your highest offer is for the exclusive rights, and you will still retain the rights to the trick.
Oh, dope. Done.
Yeah.
Take it.
That's exactly what he says. Right there. With what? So he'd be getting $5,000 more than whatever offer that is, and he'd still be retaining the rights.
Oh, done. Yeah, no. So, well, I stand corrected. Take it. Take it. There's no question about it.
Yeah. There you go.
Amazing.
Tell your boy.
Oh my god. Well, this could get exciting.
This could now get exciting.
Retain the rights in terms of, because then is the Jerks just going to post, I confirm it's real?
I think he offered to buy like 20 of them at $100 a piece and sell them himself. So I imagine whatever the offer is, he would buy that many. So he would have a certain amount to sell himself. I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head. I don't know the Jerks. Don't even know who the fucking guy is. I just know his name's Andy. Beyond that, I know nothing. But I do know that he offered $5,000 more than whatever the best offer is.
That's amazing. Well, fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna. This is absolutely sick.
You can see his little face scheming right now. He's scheming.
Oh.
Are you actually messaging the Unnamed Magician?
Yeah.
For people that are listening on Spotify, I'm just waiting for Lloyd to finish sending a message to the Unnamed Magician, which I imagine is going to say something along the lines of, hold any deals. I've got new information. or something along those lines.
I'm sorry.
This is riveting. While Lloyd's sending that message to the unnamed magician, if you guys are in Blackpool between now and the 12th of April, feel free to come down to the House of Secrets. Myself, well, I'm not actually really even performing, but Mark Waddington, Thea, and Ryland are doing a show called One Magician, Two Magic Makers, and it's an amazing show. We've been getting rave reviews, and we would love more people to come along. You know?
I said, yo, dude, sorry about the delay. Been crazy. Yeah. What the fuck? I can't believe he posted your email. I just saw the post. He's offering 5K more than your highest offer. Bro, take it immediately.
There you go. As in the immortal words of Vince McMahon, business is about to pick up.
Yeah, I just...
Boom. There you go.
Take it immediately.
Is that bitch sense?
It's sent. Yeah. I just didn't. Well, I mean, I can show his. I don't know whether I should show his screen name.
I wouldn't do because he's unnamed.
Yeah, but that's it there. Fuck yeah, dude! This is gonna get exciting then.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what happens with that. By the way, are we open to having podcast guests on the podcast with us?
Yeah, we've had. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Pig Cake keeps saying we need to do another one together. So
let's do one with Pig Cake. But I've also had somebody reach out who has never been on a podcast ever, and he's one of the most powerful men in magic.
What?
I had a message saying, let me read this out to you.
Oh, is this going to set my anxiety off though?
No, I don't think so. Get this. So he started off by saying, "Hey Craig, can I be a guest on your podcast with Lloyd?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll speak to Lloyd, but I can't see a problem. What did you want to talk about?" He said, "What do I want to discuss? I would like to discuss how people should choose what magic company to submit products to, and how and when to, and not to pursue self-publishing when none of the big companies are interested in financing the project. I'd also like to talk about how AI is impacting magic products, along with discussing the formula of producing a hit magic product and how to make products really successful when launching it."
What the fuck?
That person who would like to come on the podcast is Sean Dunn.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yes.
The head of Penguin Magic wants to come on this podcast and talk about how you should pitch a product to a company.
If there's one person in this industry that I would say knows a hell of a lot more than both of us combined, it's him.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yep, done deal. Done deal.
Done deal. He actually released that as a trick. I don't know how well you know Sean. He's a fucking incredible mentalist. You should check out his Penguin Live. It's really good. And he's got a trick out called Dunn's Deal, which is amazing.
Okay, yeah, I will. Yeah. I don't think I've seen his Penguin Live, but I'll fucking do it. But yeah, I'm a huge fan. Oh shit. Did he actually ask to come on here?
Yeah, look. Yeah, again.
I believe you. I'm gonna go through your phone, but I believe you.
There you go. Sean Dunn. There you go.
Yes, let's get it done. I was supposed to have had a call with them last week, and the stars were not aligned because I am.
Well, I know you're a busy guy, and he's a busy guy, and
do the Penguin podcast with Eric that keeps. Well, we started to record one, then my internet randomly died for like 3 days due to IP throttling or something like that. I had to change my DNS settings to Google's DNS, but I didn't figure that out until I asked my friend Darren, who's a super nerd, and then he was like, "Yeah, just do that."
What happens when you live in Wales? Things like technology
smoke signal jealousy. Do you know?
I'm gonna be up in Wales soon. I'm gonna be up in North Wales. Yeah, I'm gonna be up in North Wales at some point soon for the Magic Bar Live. That'll be fun. You should go to North Wales. You should go to the Magic Bar Live. You'd really like it. Anything else to discuss on this week's podcast? I think. Oh, well, we should talk about the convention. Everything is lined up, right? Okay, so here's the deal. The venue is set. The dates are set. everything is set. We have our lineup of lecturers. Because I was over in the States, I didn't have time to do anything with it. Because I've then come back and I'm in Blackpool, we haven't had time to do anything with it. But before we started filming this podcast, myself and Lloyd had a conversation about firming stuff up. So next week, we are going to announce the first 2 lecturers, and we're going to try to put a schedule together. Because we've got some really good shit planned. We've got some really good ideas. It's not just going to be lecturers. It's not just going to be. It's not just going to be dealers. There's going to be a lot of innovative stuff as well. So we're going to be talking more about that next week. But I know that you've got a couple of phone calls to make. I've got a couple of phone calls to make, one of which I really don't want to make because he scares you and me a little bit as well. He's a bit of a scary guy, but we do short chores and I lost, so I've got to ring that motherfucker. So I'll call him. He does. I break out in hives every time I think about talking about him because I don't know why. He's very powerful, but he doesn't look powerful. You know, he's like. No, he is, isn't he? He's like Superman in the body of.
My problem is I just cannot speak to people I like really look up to. That's why me and you get on so well. You know? Yeah, but the other cool thing, we're gonna have a bunch of cool stuff, but the dates are, by the way, and tell people where they can get tickets now. I think
just go on to magictv.org. There's a form in there that you can fill in. When you fill in a form, it'll come up with a PayPal link, and literally you can just pay by PayPal. You can register for 1 day or 2 days. Most people are doing 2 days. It's ridiculously cheap. It's £50 for a 2-day ticket, £30 for a 1-day ticket. And that is for all the lectures, all the dealers. We're going to have 2 evening shows going on as well. There's going to be a live Magic podcast. Lloyd is going to be lecturing. I'm going to be lecturing, as well as a bunch of other people as well. We have got this down. This is going to be amazing.
I have no trust in you. We have got this down. No, but actually, dates are secured. Phone calls to make it now, and then. But there's actually not a lot that has to go into it.
No, we know what we're doing.
Surprisingly.
Write it on the back of a fag packet and we'll be good.
In the US, a fag packet is a cigarette packet. It's a colloquialism in the UK.
Oh, God, yeah.
In case you get cancelled, you smoke fag in the UK.
Yeah.
Like in the UK, we don't
writing on the back of a fag packet means that you're taking notes on something in a very...
on the back of a napkin kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get like cancelled so quickly.
But I've got people that are saying that they're traveling from different countries to come here, so it'll be fun. And you are not going to be at the Alakazam convention, are you? It's coming up in less than a month. You're not going to be there.
No, I know. I thought I was, and then I checked my dates. I'm lecturing in the Czech Republic, and it turns out it's on the same dates as the Alakazam convention. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. It's when is it? Let me tell you what this thing is. I don't even know what the fuck I need to find the name of the convention. Hold on a second. I need to book my flights as well. It is magicfest.cz. So it's called Magic Festival. Let me change the website to English. Magicfest.cz, and it's from the 8th to the 10th of May. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who you on with?
I don't know.
Brilliant.
Program. I don't know what year this is for. This Magic Gala show, dealer's room. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Magic Fest 2026.
Maybe it's just you.
Oh, here we go. Tobias Dostal. Yay, Toby. Oh my God, me and him are going to be everywhere this year together. We're in, me, you, and Toby are in Mexico as well in October. Tobias Dostal, Jose Ahonen, Hugo Maximiliano, Juan Colas, Albert Vidal, and Lucas Kaminsky.
That's a great lineup.
Hell yeah. And there's going to be the Czech Championship of Modern Magic. So stage manipulation, general magic, close-up card magic and stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to be there from the 8th.
Well, while you're there, I'm going to be hanging around in Ashford getting drinks with David Jonathan.
Oh my God, David Jonathan's over. Fuck. And Fred's going to be there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
He's a little celebrity, man. You know, he's
Fred is great. I love Fred.
You know, Fred sent you a video message, which is hilarious, and you didn't reply.
I was in California being worked to death by George.
You know, Fred's got a Mount Rushmore of people he wants to interview on his channel.
I'm going to look.
Reed Ferry, Calvin Booth, and you were the fourth head. He's now basically quit YouTube before you even fucking responded.
He hasn't quit YouTube. He's just gone on holiday. He's a fucking drama queen.
You could have texted back. It was only a video.
What's the fucking point? He's not taking his phone with him.
No, he sent you the text 2 weeks ago, you prick.
I was in California.
You called me from California. Moaning about nothing. There's no excuse. That's his friend. Oh, he's just really busy. He's in California, and then he'd come back. And in fairness, you've had the most insane week in California. Then you had like 27 hours of flights, and you went straight to Blackpool. But you're not fucking doing anything now, are you, cunt?
Yeah, I am. I'm talking to you. But I tell you what, as soon as I've got off the phone to you, as soon as I've finished this podcast, I will message Fred. He won't answer because he's not got his phone with him, but I will message him. I will call him.
No, I bet you won't.
Bet you I will.
Bet you won't.
Bet you if you call Fred in half an hour after we finished, I'll have called him.
All right, I will.
Bet you. Bet you.
I'm sticking to that.
I've just been a little bit busy fighting Masika.
Fighting the good fight. Listen, even Batman had friends. Yeah, you could.
Oh, he didn't. He had Alfred.
Bruce Wayne was smashing that chick for years.
But she didn't know he was Batman. Batman effectively had Alfred and some weird sort of underage kid that he used to dress up as a Robin.
That's me and you, the dynamic duo.
Yes, it is. Fucking hell. Oh my God. I'm trying to think.
Eagle Masika's the Joker.
The views and opinions of the Magic Podcast are not necessarily expressed by Craig Petty, and anything that comes out of Lloyd Barnes' mouth has got nothing to fucking do with me. Just
you employed me to say it, just like you were employed by everyone else to say it. I'm just a puppet for your emotions. You got your hand so far up my arse that you're stroking the back of my teeth.
It was all going so well, and then it just stopped. Very quickly before we finish this.
Oh, fucking hell. What?
Is there
Very quickly never means very quickly.
That does. I'm just wondering if you've seen any cool projects coming out. Anything that's worth talking about?
Probably have. So enlighten us.
No, I'm just wondering. The only thing that I know of is something that I thought was going to be quite pants, but it's actually quite good. I got an email from Connor
at Murphy's.
At Murphy's.
I love Connor.
Oh, Connor's amazing. Right? He's a right guy. I really like Connor. I got a lot of time for Connor.
I can't remember the exact conversation. The first time we messaged was in a group chat, and I think like there was a warning like, "Yo, Connor, just so you know, the guys are British, so they use foul language." And he was like, "My mother-in-law is British." I was like, "Oh, welcome to the fray, you cunt." And we were best friends from that moment on, basically.
Yeah, Connor's amazing. He sent me a review copy, which is nice of him, of a big Murphy's release that's coming out on the 14th of April that maybe you were aware of before you left. Magic Markers. So effectively, I saw this and I was like, it's not going to be very good. And I watched the tutorial and dude, this is amazing.
What is it?
It's by Murphy's. Javier is doing the tutorial. I think it feels very Javier. But basically, let me read the ad copy. What if the pen that your spectator used to sign their card was also the secret to the miracle? With magic markers, you get 4 professional Sharpie markers, each hiding a powerful revelation. 3 pens are boldly printed with different playing cards, but in the Sharpie logo. And the 4th pen simply reads your card. And the main effect is fucking brilliant. Your spectator freely chooses a card, signs it, and later on in the evening discovers the prediction was on the very pen they had the entire time. But it's more than just a single trick. So there is a ton of stuff that you can do with it. Javier's got this incredible multi-phase routine where he's got a pen, 2 people sign cards, they're signing the card. He says, "What if I told you I knew, your card? Look at the pen. It's got your card. It's a gag." And then it changes into the name of the first person's card, which they then turn over their card. And it's changed into their card. Then the pen changes into the second person's card. But then they take the pen that we're using to sign everything that's now got the second person's card. And when they unscrew the nib, inside instead of the ink is the signed card of the other person that picked it, and it's all Javier. Javier's got so much stuff on, and there's
No,
so
I haven't seen that. The
Oh.
signed card is inside it, or a duplicate card.
a signed card. You can do it as a duplicate card. There's a duplicate card handling, but there's a signed card handling. Or my notes aren't in front of me. I'm 99% sure there's a signed card handling. Or when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, this could be a signed card." But I'm pretty sure it's a signed card handling as well. But I watched it.
How did I not know about this?
I watched
Because
the
I only left 2 months ago, but this would have taken a year to produce something like
Yeah,
this.
look, let me just send you the copy. It's coming out officially on the 14th of April, and I'm doing my review of it now. It's amazing. Here you go. Here's the link to. I'll just text you over the link to the sales page. There you go.
He's just sending me Instagram reels of pizza. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, what am I looking at?
Just look at your text.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
And automatically, when you tap,
Can I watch the trailer?
Yeah, watch the trailer and then tell me what you think. I don't think we can play the trailer yet because it's not dropping till the 14th. But
I mean, the Sharpie marker with mine has 6 of clubs on it. Is literally the Sharpie that I carried with me anytime I perform. I have done for 10 years. I think it's the best Sharpie thing. One of the best things in Magic.
oh yeah, there's so much to do with this. Having 4 Sharpies and having the ability to kind of combine those together into one routine is really smart and really clever. I've had a chance to play with the gimmicks. I've had a chance to
She's the fuck out. Oh, they got the perfect spectator for this.
yeah.
But wait. I don't want to do anything. But here's the crazy thing. It said your card. But what does it say now? Take a look.
I love the your card gag. I have it fucking tattooed on my arm.
So do I.
It's so good. It's like,
What if it says 3 of clubs there? What happens to your 9 of diamonds?
oh shit. Oh, okay. Inside the pen is the 9. Fuck yeah. Okay, so that's the dupe card.
Your cards. Their hands. 3 of clubs.
This is a great routine. This
It
is a
is.
great routine.
It's I watched the main routine and I
It's
was
only
like,
$20.
yeah, it's really cheap. It's like I really want to get this. Like, I mean, I've got it, but I really want to perform it. I really
Yeah, this is a proper little fucking. This is a great little thing.
yeah.
This is one of those things which you look in the back end and it's gonna have like 10,000 sales or something. You know.
Yeah.
This is. I'm actually gonna get one of these.
It's super commercial. It's literally everybody will be doing
It's not a signed card, I don't think, but this is actually years ago. My company Enigma put out a trick by Josh Maddox. Do you ever see that?
No.
And it's a way to do. Oh my god, it's fucking amazing. It's called Pipe Dream by Josh Maddox. I think you can get it on Penguin, and it's a signed card to Sharpie marker.
Oh wow.
But they are holding the Sharpie from the beginning.
Sweet.
So they pick a card, sign it with the same Sharpie. Let's check it out. So they sign. So the card is signed here. They are holding this. The card then vanishes. The Sharpie is cracked open. Their card is inside the Sharpie, and it's a signed card.
That's great. Wow.
Like, go and find the trailer for it. I don't know. Actually, maybe it's not for sale anymore, but it was. It was Joshua Maddox. Let's see. Or was he Josh Maddox? Josh, why did it say Paddox?
Found it. Instant download.
It's an instant download?
Instant download on Penguin, and it is 15.
Look at the reviews are terrible on it. This trick is ridiculous to say the least. Overpriced, disappointed. Oh my god, this got like a plethora of terrible reviews.
What?
Oh my god, this thing was fucking, when we went out and he did performances, this was fucking destroying people. Wow! Wow! Oh my god, I remember filming this like it was yesterday. Why would this get bad reviews?
Sometimes, a lot of the time, it's because people don't.
It does require skill. You have to do oh my god. Oh my god, look at the reviews on this. They're terrible. This just goes to show, though, it's like one of those things that so much good magic just goes completely under the radar. You have to be able to palm, basically.
Yeah, reading the reviews, a lot of the negative reviews are saying that it's because it uses sleight of hand.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. It doesn't
But
require
then you look at somebody like this guy from 2017. As a professional worker, I'd like to show my gratitude to the inventor of this effect. I've used it to close over 400 shows now, and the common reaction is gasps and squeals of delight. The product takes finesse, confidence, and timing, which means practicing it and not running away when you know you're not being chased.
Yeah.
I think
it's one of those tricks that, like, it's built for actual performers, like proper magicians who know what's good, because it's a fucking barn burner of an effect. And I'm not saying I don't make any money. That company's closed down. I don't even know who the fuck the royalties go to on any of that shit. I don't get fuck all from it. It's an absolute stone cold stunner of a trick. But you can incorporate that into the Murphy's thing and do it signed.
I'm gonna have a look at that as soon as I get off the phone to you. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one that I'm actually fucking stunned by the terrible reviews of that.
Yeah, I think I've seen it before. It was a little bit like the Atomic Deck. Remember with the Atomic Deck, the negative reviews came from people that thought this is not.
But they came out quickly, and then when most people got it, the reviews changed completely. Most people hated the Atomic Deck because of the hype.
Yeah.
I can see that review. Oh my god, the reviews are so bad on this. I think what it is, people were expecting a gimmick, and Pipe Dream was pretty much entirely sleight of hand. But
yeah, people don't like to work.
Don't lie.
That's the problem. People don't like to work too hard. That's the problem. It's a shame, but that's the way it is.
Oh well. That Murphy's thing does actually look really good, though. I'm trying to think what else I know about that's been released. I can't think of anything major. I've been working on. Should I tell people about this? I've been working on a bigger project behind the scenes, and
you told me about.
Yeah, I put up the first sort of tiny hint to get people on board, sort of early adopters kind of thing. If they want to, I put up three.
Can you mention where people can, like?
No, I'll say. All right, so there's 3 clues I'll start off with, right? Just to whet people's appetite. Clue number 1 is first, second, third, fifth. Fill in the blanks. Second clue is a riddle. All right, the answer is 5 letters. Okay. I am always below you unless I am above. What am I? So 5 letters. The middle letter is an O. And the last clue is www.lloyd. And there's 3 blanks.
Okay. I actually get those clues, but only because I know where ultimately they're going to end up.
Well, so far, only about 100 or so people have solved it and have found the right place. Because a lot of people think it's Lloyd.com, but that's not. .com is not the end of my
Oh, it's not.
That's the one that's been stumbling the most people up. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been making. And that's a bigger thing in general, like more of a platform. But one thing I'll talk about that's kind of close to fruition, and because this is the thing that I get asked about the most, and I'm pretty close to. So one of the most popular tricks that like you can't really get hold of, and I sold it once for 24 hours, and now it is in Docs Para, my book, is my lottery prediction.
Greatest lottery prediction of all time.
Thank you, man. I don't know if it's the best one of all time, but people seem to love it. Well, there's a new version coming out, which will be a proper release. Because the first one was a bit quick, sold out in less than 24 hours. It was gone, and I said I would never do that version, that first edition. And then years later, I put it in my book. But the new version is going to have a bunch of new features and stuff. So it's really close to fruition. I suppose if anyone wants to get the news first about when it's dropping, then figure out those clues and get on that.
You're gonna make some waves when people realize what you're doing, Lloyd. You are.
Also, if you want to get on the mailing list for that lottery prediction, go to lloyd.tv and sign up to the mailing list, and I'll probably be putting the first feelers out there for I don't know what to call it. 6 in my head it's 6 Pro, but it seems a bit too Apple-y. So and like it's because it's like the 2.0 version, so I could call it like 6 2.0 or 12.
I like 12. It's funny.
In my head it's 6 Pro, and I don't know whether I'll be able to tear my thoughts away from that, so much be stuck there, but 12 kind of makes sense.
How about just calling it the best motherfucking lottery prediction in the world?
Because it's not.
It's definitely the most practical. It's definitely the one that like you can just do at the drop of a hat. I can't think of another lottery prediction that with nothing on you can literally just do an incredible killer lottery prediction. Just immediately. It's the best everyday carry lottery prediction, but it's also powerful enough to do on a stage. It's great.
Thanks, man. Well, that's the new one as well. It's got little things in there so you can because the big thing was with what was it, and this is the reason why it was never a big Murphy's release or anything, was because bad magicians can't do this. It's because the method is fairly bold. It's not. I mean, it was fairly bold method. But once you get over it, you can now perform a lottery prediction where they hold the ticket from the beginning. There's no printers involved. They choose 6 numbers, and they're the 6 numbers on the ticket. And that's it. In essence, that's what the effect is. And yeah, there was a slightly bold moment to it, but as long as you can perform, you could do it. No more bold than a crosscut 4. So in my head,
yeah.
Or maybe I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, it's just a bit of a bold moment, but if you perform. But the problem with it being a massive release, that there was no real. The magic stores wouldn't like when it would be on my when it was on my side. It says it was an extra video on the page that says, "Whoa, let me just explain to you. This is a bold method. So if you're not confident at performing, don't get this."
It's a little bit like as a coin worker doing coin on shoulder or coin under watch or something with a body load. If you've never done coin magic before, that makes you think, oh my God, I've got a load of coin on the shoulder when people catch that. Whilst if it's something that if you've been performing in the real world for any amount of time, you know that that's the sort of thing you can get away with easily. It's the same sort of thing.
It's like that pipe dream trick with Josh Maddox.
Yeah.
The worker and the worker and the workers even in the comment section.
Yeah.
Know how good it is.
Amazing it is, and then he's closed his stuff with it. Yeah.
It's one of those things. So anyway, but yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's Mark Elson puts in is one of his 8 desert island tricks.
I know, that's amazing, right? I mean, Mark's just a god.
And Fred talks about it because he's performed it loads on his channel. So he sent a birthday card to his father and did it a month after he received the card. he did it in another setting, and so I don't know. Yeah, I love it. But anyway, people have been trying to get it for ages. I put the original basic version in the book so people can do it as it is, but the new version's just got like bells and whistles, and it makes it, it's got some interesting features to it which can make it even more deceptive.
That's brilliant.
So I've been working on that, man, and that's close to publication, I'd say. So
Stuff. Exciting
I've
stuff.
been working on. So if anyone's interested in it, go to Lloyd.tv and sign up to the mailing list, or work out the clues.
Sick. There you go.
What about you, man? You got SP2, Credit Crunch.
I've just got a new trick that's just dropped from TCC. My second TCC trick.
What?
Yeah.
What is it?
You saw it in very early development. It's called the hidden code. It's the one where you give somebody an advertising card, and you tell them how to look at it. Do you remember?
That's you.
Yeah.
No way. That's you.
I
looked at that email this morning. Oh yes, yeah, it came in yesterday. I looked at it this morning.
Yeah. Mark Elston has said to me, it's the best trick I've ever produced.
Oh my God. Why didn't this go to Murphy's thing in the end? Because it was going to be.
You turned it down. You said you and George didn't like it.
No, I liked it.
Oh, somebody didn't. You said Murphy said no. So then I went to TCC.
Are they? I won't say it.
I don't know why, because it is one of the strongest things I've ever done. It is, they get handed a guarantee.
Dude, can you send me a deck?
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, no problem.
Can you send me when I'm going to do this one? I know this is going to fuck Katie's world up.
It gets watch the trailer. It gets the most ridiculous reactions, and here's why Mark Elston said that he liked it so much. He said the problem with it, because it's all based around influence and how you're influencing people. He said most of the time when magicians use influence in their act, they're not actually influencing people. Like an example of influence is, oh, okay, look at this piece of paper. Now cut the deck any way you want. Cutting the deck is random. You can't influence people to do that based on what they're looking at. But then with this routine, you're giving somebody a guarantee card, the advertising card. You're getting them to look at it. They're holding on to it. You then have them name any card. There is literally no force. They can name any card they want to. They can change their mind. And then when they look at the advertising card that has been in front of them the whole time, they then realize that the barcode is actually the name of the card that they named. And that's what fucks them up, because they can't understand. They're like, no, that made me pick that card. And it is a
ties in like a Mobius strip in it.
And as you would imagine with anything that I do, it's Phil Smith that designed the cards and, made them look.
I'm going to watch this trailer after this call right now. Fuck, would you please send me one? I can do it.
I'm back from Blackpool on the 12th, and I'll send it to you on the month.
Fuck yes.
I'd love to see you do
it. Shit, man. Good job on that. Fucking amazing.
Thanks, man. It's completely self-working as well. Yeah, no skill.
I forgot about this. I this is the thing that I was fucking losing my mind over.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, shit. I'm gonna watch the trailer. Right. Let's wrap this motherfucker up.
Guys, we'll be back next week with the announcement of the first lecture at the Magic Convention. Outside of that, we'll be back next week with another podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are all awesome. Send in some questions in so we can answer some questions this week. Join the official Facebook group. Lloyd, you know what to do.
Remember, try really hard not to fuck kids like Ted Karmilovich and Jeff.
I agree. My dog agrees as well.
Who's the guy? And Jim Pace. And have a really shit week, because Craig's having a shit week, so we should all just bask in his misery.
Exactly. Now, all of you fuck off. I'm sure you've got something better to do. I know I have. I know he has. Bye, everyone.
Fuck off.
We apologize for disrupting your normal daily schedule. You may now relax, tuck your deck back in, and resume your regular day-to-day life. Remember to subscribe to be notified the moment each new episode goes live every Wednesday. and join our Facebook group to continue the conversation. The link is in the description to this podcast. Thank you for listening to The Magic Podcast.